isn't it? But look, Poker Motion Riders coming through now. This is going to be nip and tuck on the line. Now to Clay's putting on the pressure. I think he's going to do it. It's 2.2 kilometres to go. The game of chess is started. Is it cat and mouse? There's a little bit of a trail off the back now. He could be losing a few riders. Leonard puts the pressure on. He's riding at 39 kilometres an hour on plus 1% grade. Welcome along. It's another West London VR Race Wednesday, and in fact it's the changing of the seasons because we're finishing off the winter series here this evening on the Hillingdon circuit, where we traditionally finish each series. 16.8 kilometres, 11 laps, 108 metres climbing over those laps, so not a lot. We'll go through the course very shortly. There's quite a lot to be decided tonight. I mean, some titles are probably decided. This is going to be a thriller. Gail Robinson is the one to watch there in third place. She has only ridden 5 races, and the girls above her have ridden 6, and it's your best 6 that count. So a good performance from Gail tonight could knock Claire and Lisa down the rankings. And of course, we don't know how well Wendy could do. Wendy Wonderwheels Gallagher there in 4th place. Could she nick a place on the podium? That all needs to be played out. So really looking forward to this one. The ladies on a knife edge. Gail Robinson, the one to watch. Claire Miller with it all to lose. Can Claire put in a sterling performance and hold Gail off? It's going to be a thriller. So what else have we got? Right, the main standings. I think we can all assume that Wouter Clay's 65 points ahead of Ned Bowen is going to win this, short of having a really bad Tacanical tonight. Ned Bowen might be hoping for that, but knowing Ned, he's a sporting kind and he wouldn't wish to win that way. John Sammet could lose out to Mario Cavadas. John Sammet, Ned Bowen and Wouter Clay's the fixtures in the West London VR races. Been around for ages, as is Nick Greenhalgh, Carlos Cello in 5th and 6th. But Mario Cavadas, what a debut in the series, 1024 points. He's not that far behind John Sammet, so if anything goes wrong for John, it could be Mario's night. So let's fingers crossed for John that it doesn't, but still plenty to be played for. And special mentions, Carlos Sella, been around forever. Jared Miller, great performance. James Melville, absolute star of this series. Matthias Bergqvist too. Thomas Poniatowski and Jan van der Linden, Paul Hinson. All names that have been in the West London VR series time after time, and we look forward to Series 5. We did introduce the 6 times table. This is where your best 6 results come out. Now we did think this was rather close, and this might shake up the standings. And then we hunted through Ned and Wouter's top 6 races, and we realised that Ned couldn't quite get to 599, so he's going to bow to Clays. But I think the battle here is between John Samet and Miles Askew. Only 3 points in that, and Nick Greenhalgh in 5th. Any one of those 3 could get 3rd place, so look out for that. John Samet, Miles Askew, Nick Greenhalgh battling for the 3rd podium spot in the 6 times table, 6 of the best. And finally, this is the one. Look at that. How can you have 12 races? Moon Riders, 2,232 points. Pokemotion, 2,232 points. Okay, this is absolutely nail-biting stuff. And you couldn't have scripted this one. We'll be watching the Moon Riders and Pokemotion Riders throughout the race. Special mention to Ratio Racing. Fantastic. Missed out this time. Watford Velo, what a debut in the series. Glasgow United, as ever. James and Alistair, Satellite Riders, their Moon Riders other team. Southborough, Wesley, Twickenham, Southborough again, Wesley, Team Cameron Sands. I think Team Sands, we might have Johan Olofsky back in the reckoning today. Moving down to the ladies, I say moving along to the ladies, I should say, shouldn't we? Twickenham ladies, you have been immense in this, and you will be getting the trophies. Lisa, if you can let me have contact address, I'll get them off to you. You distribute it amongst the team. Well done, Twickenham Cycling Club. One of the best cycling clubs in West London, actually, it has to be said, and a very strong performance here. Well done, guys. Let's have a quick look at the course. Now this is 11 laps of the famous Hillingdon circuit. Now that first bit is a sort of gentle climb, and you dip down here into this omega shaped bend. Then you dip down. When you come back out of it, there's a steep ramp, and then it's fairly flat. This should be fairly fast along there, back round to the finishing line. Then again up that slope, and as you see that sort of little bend where it dips into the centre of the track, you go down, round, and then there's a sharp ramp up. So it's sort of 2 climbs, if you like. The one from the start line up to the top of that bend. And as you come out of the bend, the short, sharp ramp. Most attacks will probably happen on that short, sharp ramp. That can catch riders out and can steal a few yards there. 11 laps, we expect to see riders lapped, so everybody should get their chance to be on camera tonight as we take the view in there of the Hayes bypass. The road on the left of the course there, it does hold some interest, but you can see there's a little roundabout just in the top left-hand corner of the course. There's a roundabout and a road heading southwards. Now just out of the screen there's a bridge, and they built the road but they hadn't built the bridge, and that bit of road to the left of the track, local cyclists started riding up and down it, having crit races up and down that dual carriageway. And when the bridge was built and they couldn't race up it anymore, the local council built this cycling circuit on the bit of land next to it so they could carry on racing. So the origins of it are that that little bit of road on your left, when it wasn't open, was a cycling circuit. And people like Bradley Wiggins used to race on there as a young lad. So anyway, over to the start line. There's 16 seconds before they all go off. Let's see what we've got on here. 85 riders online, it says here. As you can see, they turn straight into that bend and then up that gentle climb. 6 seconds. Start pedalling, guys. Wouter Clay's on the start line, as you expect. I see Simon Hall from Watford Velo on there. Miles Askew, and off they go. And don't they look colourful? Great to see all those Ukrainian jerseys, guys. I can see a couple of... oh, it's Raider Rocket Neil going straight off the front. Then Tom Moss from Southborough Wheelers. Oh, going very, very strong. Now, remember, this is a gentle climb. You can see the gradient in the top right-hand corner. It is, well, it was just 2.5. But as they go down now, round the Omega Bend, it's down and then up again. Oh, sorry, no, this is the bend halfway up the straight. I'm sorry. I've seen there's been. So Tom Moss driving it there from Gruff, the Slovenian. Matthias Lundqvist, Jason Dix, Jared Miller up there, Matthias Lundqvist, Kader Lumi for Pokemotion. And we'll watch out for those. Nick Greenhalgh, Ratio Racing, Johan Olofsky. Great to have you back, Johan. To get up to the top now. This is where they go around the top of the first climb, and out of that. No real brakes on that one. That's a little steep bit. You can see on the bottom there as they come out of that bend, and then it's sort of fairly downhill. Now you can see in the if you look at the bottom, you get the profile of the course. You see there's a blue patch, that's when they come off that first genital climb, and the orange patch is that little ramp. Now, nobody really kind of broke there, but you can see, looking at the blobs along the top of the profile, that things have strung out a little bit. So the stronger riders, nobody's broken away on that first assault of that little ramp. I'll say that. Gruff is a little bit ahead. But basically that peloton's stuck together, but it's dropped a lot of the other riders. What will happen now is people will form into their own little groups and have their own personal battles, and this is great. We like this natural selection so that people end up riding alongside their peers, and they can have their own little battles with riders their own ability, rather than having to enter in categories and then finding that somebody's in the wrong category and support the race. Now that's lap one over. As they go around, Gruff is at the front, Slovenian again, Roy Rocket, Neil, Doug Hart up there, another one of the strong riders. Oh, Jacek Rohrback is in there from Poland. Lovely to see you in there, Jacek. Hope's all well out in Poland. I know Jacek from when he used to live in the UK. They're great to see you there. Who else have we got up in this bunch? We've got, I think I mentioned Letterny from Belgium, and Akula, a Puck Motion rider in third place, just behind Jason Dix. Two Welshmen there. Jared Miller, New Zealander, lives up in Hertfordshire in the UK these days. Just going off the front. The peloton's still quite strong there. You're looking at the good sort of 30 plus riders still in that front peloton, and on lap two, lapping somebody else there, presumably somebody who's had a bit of a technical and not got off the start line very quickly. Jared Miller there putting out 430 odd watts. Wow. 42 miles, kilometres an hour. Nick Greenhouse, who lives locally, probably only lives 2 miles from this circuit, knows it like the back of his hand, obviously, because he can just pull out the bike and ride down and ride it. Pushing out 250. Oh, he's just been whizzed by somebody. Who's that? Gruff again, Slovenian, pushing out on the front, and Tom Cooper, the Scot, on the chase. Jacek Rohrback up in third. Jacek was a tidy rider when he was a little bit younger, and it's great to see him up the front here competing in this. Now Gruff is quite a way out here, putting out 4.6, 3.9 watts. It's going up and down, which is not a bad sign. You don't want it to be too strong. And you can see there's a little bit of a gap developing there. So, looking from the aerial view, you can see how big that gap is as they complete another lap. That's 2 laps done now, 3 kilometres. And Griff, I think, just catching up with, no, that's Doug Hart who's got up there with him from Pedalers. Well done, Doug. That's some strong riding there. As we look a little bit back, further back, yeah, Doug's sitting on the wheel there. Not a bad thing to do. It's not a bad thing to do at all as they go up this climb. You can see the gradient 1.3%. Let's say it's a very gentle climb. It's a man-made climb, and the whole circuit was designed by a track designer, Casper Hededum, now leading the chase. He's a man who can go strongly on the front. Somebody else is pushing through him. It's Igor Kopstin, another Slovenian pushing out. So we've got 2 Slovenians out the front. Now this is breaking up, but this is quite early in the race as Igor Kopstin chases Gruff and Hart, and I think he's going to make that, and he's doing it on that steeper bit of gradient at 3%. Although somebody's Matthias Longfest has got back up there as well. I think this means the peloton is going to pull together. What will happen here, we'll drop a few off the back. So in actual fact, rather than attack, that little ramp did actually pull people back into the front group. So it's thinning out. It's thinning out. You can see the spread along the bottom is quite long now, as the main blob, the leader's the one we're watching, Wouter Clay's up there, and he probably doesn't need to burst the blood vessel today. Anna Renkanen is 46, a very strong female rider, and she hasn't done enough races to win the series, which will be a relief to the other lady riders who are in the race, because Anna is very strong indeed, the Finnish rider. I always have to remember to call you Anna Ronkanen, because I get a little bit confused, because my daughter made a film with Annika Ronin, and I do get the names a little bit confused. It's a film about surfboarding. If you want to go and see it, it's called Borders. It's got US distribution if you're that side of the pond. So you see Pat Heron there at the back. This is Verhoot, the Dutchman. 44's just dropped off that group. You don't really want to drop off this. Stuart Gillies there from Twickenham wearing the Ukraine jersey. I see Paul Hinson in there. This looks like this is Group 1, isn't it? If Stuart can get back on, that's a good thing. I see Simon Hall there from Watford in that group. John Samet in there. Now remember, Samet can he's really looking for podium places in both the GC and the best 6 of the best, so he needs to be in there. You don't want to get dropped from this group if you're chasing places. Thomas Poniatowski in there, Kado Lumi for Pokemotion. Remember, Pokemotion and Moon Riders are neck and neck in the teams. Wouter Clays rides for Moon Riders, and as we look at Matthias Letten, now the Belgian. Remember, Pokemotion and Moon Riders are the 2 teams who are neck and neck in the team classification. So we'll try and pick out the Moon Riders. You can see Miles Askew on the front there, got the MR after his name. Moon Riders, Wouter Clays. So if Miles and Wouter get top spots, that makes it difficult for Moon Riders. See, Francois Ike is in there as well. I haven't seen him for a while, riding for Moon Riders. They put out a strong team. They've got Francois, Miles and Wouter up there. Pokemotion, Kader Alumi, I see. Hughes, the Welshman, riding. Is Hughes, yeah, Pokemotion. I'm just trying to see if we can see any other Pokemotion riders up there. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on this. But Hughes up there, the Welshman, riding for Pokemotion. Again, I mean, he needs to push people from Moon Riders down if he can. I mean, even and this applies to both teams. I mean, it's well worth, if you can put 4 people in front of the other team's 2 riders, they suffer even more places. But there's only one shot at this as we complete lap 4 at the front of the race. So that's the front of the race. And we're looking a bit further back. Now that's interesting. This is interesting because I think we've got about 36 riders in that group. I see Ned Bowen's in there. Jacek Rollback now back at 42. Looks like Jacek's been dropped. I know what Jacek looks like from the back because he's dropped me up a hill a few times when we've been out riding, when he used to live here in the UK. Mario Cavalius there, just on the back in the Ukraine jersey. Needs to hang on. He's had a fantastic ride for Ratio Racing. He's had a fantastic series. I hope he's not struggling too much. He seems to be just a little bit off the back. Paul Hinton is comfortably on the back. He will be. Actually, I'm a bit worried about Mario there. I hope he isn't get dropped off as we lap a few riders. So say we've got something like 40. Kasper's heading them off the front. The Danish rider likes to go off the front. Matthias Nordqvist. Igor Kopsy now taking it up. So the peloton's very much together at the moment. I don't know if we can have a look at other groups that are spaced around the track. It looks fairly spread out looking at all the dots along the bottom. And so maybe not. Wouter Clays in 4th place, it says there. This is still the front group, 35 riders. Ned Bowen in there, Francois Eicher and Thomas Poniatowski. Moon Riders have put out a phenomenal team for this. See Jan Linden in there for Pokemotion. So Jan and Hughes are probably the riders to look out for Pokemotion in here. So who else have we got? There's a big gap now. Looking at that, we've got up to 46 riders. No, we haven't. We've got up to about 40. And then we've got. So I'm going to look at the splits here. Anna Ronkanen, look at that, 46, and she's not far off people in front. She's riding very, very strongly. Ian Suddersby there, and Matthias Verhoot's in there. S-Punk, I won't read it phonetically, but out on his own. Linda van Dijk there in 80th position. We have 83 on the road, and so she's just getting dropped a little bit there by Kim. Gautam Thackhurst, 52. Ginny, oh, look at that. Gail Robinson in 45th. Now, she's not going to win because it looks as though she's 49th, so she's a little bit, Gail Robinson, a little bit behind Anna Rankkonen, but that doesn't matter from the standings point of view because Anna can't win because she hasn't done enough races. So Gail Robinson can sit at 49th. I can't see any other lady riders immediately behind her. We've got David Buckley, I see in there, Tom Yates, Jazz, Harry Schmitz, Gautam Thacker, and so I think Gail Robinson is looking good for taking the series here if she gets a good. Let's say Tom Yates Jazz from Ealing in there with Gautam Thacker, who lives in Nick, and Claire Miller, 59th, and Claire is the one who's got to distance Gail, and it's not going in the right direction for Claire in the Twickenham outfit there, the blue kit. So it looks very much as if Gail Robinson is going to take top spot, pushing Claire Miller into the runners-up spot. Don't worry, there are trophies for the first 3 podium places as she eases past my mate Gautam. And the other one we've got to watch out for is Lisa West. Now, can she stay on the podium under threat from Linda Van Dijk and I presume Wendy Wonderwheels? Now, Wendy Wonderwheels is in 67th there. And what we're looking out for is Lisa West rider. Matthias Bergfest with Wendy Wonderwheels there. Wendy from New Zealand, of course, with the New Zealand flag. Who we got here? Andrzej Koziewski. He's a bit further back than I'd expect to see Andrzej, but never mind. Crepo, Boniki, Coco Maisie, Colin Stewart there. I love Coco Maisie. Sounds better than Colin Stewart. You can see why he uses that one, can't you? Fantastic name. Grant there, Twickenham. Oh, there's Lisa at the back, and so 75th, which is quite respectable with 83 on the road. So that's quite good. She's got a couple of Twickenham riders with her there, so hopefully they'll help her around, and she can get close enough to get the points. I mean, as I say, at the moment she's I'm just trying to see where. She's probably behind Wendy Wonderwheels, so there might be some messing around with the with the positions. We'll have to see, won't we? And there's Linda Van Dijk again, 79th. So it's Wendy Wonderwheels and Lisa West that we're kind of really looking out for in the ladies' competition. Gavin Grant helping Lisa around the course. So back up to the top, and Growth again putting out plenty of watts on the front. Keeps doing this, taking these leading rolls, but has been caught several times. The watts per is fluctuating in the watts per kilogram. Doug Hart on in second place again. Carlos Sella, Igor Kopsey, Maria Letton, and Nick Greenhouse up in 5th. Nick Greenhouse, faint hopes of a podium spot for Nick. I think it's going to be tricky, but you never know your luck, and if you don't try, you certainly won't get anything. So this little group now hunting down Grolf at the front there, and I think it'll come back together again. I mean, if you remember, this did all come together again on the ramp, and if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see that the big blob, which is the rider we're following, Growth there, is just going up the hill, the gradual hill. Then you get to the blue section on the profile. If you look at the bottom of your screen, the blue section will be this sharp downhill into the 180-degree bend, and you can see now all of a sudden the gradient drops to just under 5%. It goes round this 180 Borat Growth, goes round this 180-degree bend, and this is where you get the short ramp. So if you're watching the top right-hand corner, it suddenly goes from 1.6 to plus 4.1%, and look how much the gap closed on that ramp again. And this has happened on several laps now, that the gap has been eroded on that ramp. Now, I said it'd be a tax. It's actually, one might describe it as a defence, because the peloton are pulling back on that ramp. So if Grover wants to win this, he's going to have to pull away further than that. Pokemotion on the front now with Kader Aluni. Matthias Lundqvist in there as well, and I'm sure he's going to get swallowed up by the peloton, but that's not a bad thing. Tom Gake's in there, the Dutchman, great Dutchman, one of the stars of online racing, and Very strong rider too. We see the Ratio Racing kit go by there. 2 Ratio Racing kits. That's the orange with the RR on the back. Mariletton in there, Casper Headlam. This group is thinned down. Julian Fussell in there, I see, for South District Wheelers. Well done, Julian. That's a good place to be. 27th, it says on there, moving up a little bit. So we're down to about 30 riders in this group. Jav Miller's still in there. Jan van Beurs, John Samet, I'm pleased to see, is in there. Yenko as well, who's had a good series and had some great races. Up there as well. Poniatowski, Alistair Cowpine, Nick Giles, Pokemotion on a mission tonight. Let's hope so, Nick. Good luck, mate. Thanks for checking in with us. Always good to hear from you. Pokemotion have been phenomenal in this competition. So I'm just not everybody's got Pokemotion off their name, so I might have missed out some names. So Nick, if you can give us a quick rundown if I do miss any of the Pokemotion riders or haven't mentioned any, please let us know. Glad you're watching, mate. This is absolutely knife edge for Pokemotion and Moon Riders. I think the ladies one, which was interesting, is going Gail Robinson's way. The main tussle there, remember, is going to be whether or not Lisa West can hold on to the 3rd podium spot. So, how much have we got to go? 12 kilometres done. So, we've only got about 4 kilometres, 13 kilometres to go. So we're getting towards the end of the race. 2 more laps, in fact. And the peloton thinning down all the time. James Melville off the front, as he likes to do so often. And one of these days he's going to have the most fantastic solo win, and we look forward to that. James Melville pushing out 200 watts as he slips into the peloton and takes advantage of the screen. The 2 red kits, there's always 3 red kits in there. There's probably Ned Bowen, Tom Gakes and one other. I'm not sure who the other one is. Ned Bowen and Tom Gakes I can see on the side, and somebody else has got that that red kit as well. James Melville in the GCN kit. So with about 20 odd riders in this group, it's thinned down as we go into the last lap and a bit. James off the front again. Alistair McAlpine with the other Scottish Skull Tire flag by his name. They both ride for Glasgow United. There's only 2 members in the team, and they're in the top 5 of the team's classification, which is phenomenal. 2 great riders, and we're delighted to have them in the series. And there's a rider being lapped in the new green kit, the Thunderbirds kit, I think it is called. And is that Tom Moss up there for Southborough Wheelers, I'm guessing? It's fantastic if it is. Grove goes again. Now, this is interesting. Does it on the hill every time, but he's not getting away this time. Doug Hart marking him, and he's here you go. Jan van der Linden, Roger Hughes, Kader Lumi I've got, and John Samet I know. So Jan van der Linden, Roger Hughes. Thanks very much, Nick. What a star. My co-commentator, his microphone's not working, so he's having to do it with the keyboard. But Nick, you're a star, mate. Thank you very much. So it's Van der Linden, Roger Hughes, Kader Looney, and of course John Samet. And John Samet has been an absolute classic rider across these series. Actually, brilliant. Tim Cummins up there. Oh, I'm delighted for you, Tim. And Tim lives down the road from me. Fantastic place to be. I think he had an injury, and he's really coming back into form. And Tim is certainly one of those riders that I have watched disappear up a hill in real life, in awe of how easy he finds it to get up a hill compared to me. So absolutely phenomenal, Tim. Well done. You stayed in the front group, pushing out 230 watts, and a great performance. Very pleased for you. He works over at Heathrow Airport, I think. And Grove is going for it again. We're really into the last knock-ins of this now, aren't we? He's breaking away. He's going for a last lap win, and I think that gap is getting quite big. 70 metres is phenomenal. Now he's going to have to hold it as we go through. So he's into the last lap with something like just under 80 metres of gap. Now remember, he gets away on this hill every time. They've got to chase now. They've got to chase. It's Stuart Gillies from Twickenham CC. I got Copsey in there as well. The peloton needs to chase. Somebody's going to have to go out the front. Maybe it's a sacrifice, but at the moment they need to close that gap, because that is a bigger gap than I've seen on the laps. It's up to 90 metres now. That might not hold. Casper Hedman, that's the sort of guy you want on the front right now, because he's the sort of guy that will chase. Now remember, it's always on the Omega Bend and up that ramp that they caught Growth in the other laps, but I think this gap is rather big and it may be more difficult to do so. It's over 100 metres now. This is an exceptional breakaway, and this is very, very, very strong, and he's got up the ramp with a massive gap of 90 metres. So the question mark is now, over the rest of the course and the easier part, we've got to chase. John Samet going for Pokemotion here. Now remember, Pokemotion have got a very vested interest, as Nick has just pointed out, to beat anybody from Moon Riders at the moment. So John's got to be up there, and Growth now has got 100. He's going to win this, isn't it? There's only 500 metres to go. They're not going to make that gap in 500 metres, I'm afraid. So that is a solo win. We've seen great solo wins here before, by the way, and so it's not the first rider to do it. And they're lapping, I think actually it must be going quite fast, because they're lapping the likes of Ada Ronkanen, who's a pretty fast rider. They must be doing well. So Grove now 100 metres to go, and the gap is something like 60 metres, and finishing line is in sight. So an emphatic win for Grove. And Wouter Claes takes second place. Igor Kopsy second. What have we got? Tom Gates. These are big names in cycle racing. I'm just trying to see. No, Pokemotion get the first home in Kato Lumi, but Miles Askew just behind. So 1 point up, looking at the first two. Jan Linden for Pokemotion. Pokemotion are going to take the title. I'll double check that, and it'll be on the website, but it looks like Pokemotion, I think, have got the title, unless I've missed a Moon Riders rider in there. So I'm sure Nick Giles will be sitting there popping a cork of a bottle pretty soon. I will verify that when I go through all the results a little bit later, but that looks to me as if it's Pokemotion have taken the team competition, and probably by not very much. It's a fantastic competition. So Pat Heron for Watford Velo now in the screen. Mario Cavalius coming home. Mario getting dropped there is a little bit of a surprise for me, because he's had a fantastic series, but he takes that little sprint. Jason Dix comes in, where Moon Riders 37th, I think he was actually going to score the points that Moon Riders needed. I see Andy Beale just behind him, another one of my local riders. So let's have a look at this. So we've got Wouter Claes for Moon Riders. Let's have a look. Maybe not, because Wouter Claes, ooh, I think I might have got that wrong. Let's have a look. So Moon Riders got Claes and Askew. Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be Moon Riders, isn't it? It is, sorry. Wouter Claes for Moon Riders, and Miles Askew in 7th. Kato Lumi for Pokemotion, and I'm just seeing Jan Linden at 11th, so it's definitely Moon Riders. I'm really sorry to have got that one wrong. I think I'm so busy looking at the lower down placings that I missed. I didn't count in Wouter, did I? Who'd already crossed the line, so I'm really sorry about that. I was sorry. You better put that cork back in, Nick. Sorry. That was a bad bit of commentary, wasn't it? But there we are. It makes it all good fun, doesn't it? Casper Hedden down at 19th there. I see Carlos Silla at 17th. But that was quite emphatic by Borok Growth, and Wouter Claes, Igor Kopsy, Slovenian as well. Tom Gates, Netherlands. Nick Greenhouse, 5th. We'll have to see whether that helps Nick. I can't see John Sam. Oh, John Sammet's 15th, yes. Just behind Matthias Letton. Ned Bowen at 13th, James Melville 12th, Jan Linden, a Pokemotion rider that I thought Pokemotion had beaten Moon Riders, but had forgotten to count in Wouter Claes' 2nd place. So very, very sorry about that. Great ride, Cada, and bad luck to the other Pokemotion riders. Gail Robinson coming in there for the ladies. Harry Smith's coming in. Gail Robinson, the first lady, I am assuming there, so that will give her, I think, pretty much the ladies' title. Well done, Gail. Another Twickenham ladies rider. Twickenham ladies will take the overall title. And who we've got coming in here? Sutherland, some South Africa. This is an interesting time because obviously the Southern Hemisphere people are beginning to move into winter now. We start seeing more of them in our summer races from a UK perspective. We love having them along. Norwegian Heartland coming in next, Blanchard, the UK. And I'm just having a look. Claire Miller in 59th coming in, so Tom Yates Jazz I see there just coming home. Claire Miller finishing 59th and probably dropping to second. Sorry about that. 60 and 61st, two of my club mates, Scoten Thatcher and Rafa Nunes, coming home in 60th and 61st, both in the resplendent West London kit, if I may say so. So Portuguese Silva, McFarlane, Gilmore, Watson off 65th. Simon Hall for Watford Volo 26th. I see Tim Cummings. It was a wonderful little stint on the front, Tim. It was great to see you there for a while, and a fantastic finish at P4. So well done, Tim. You're getting stronger and stronger, mate. You really are. Francois Ike, Moonriders 27th. I'm surprised to see Francois that far back. Johan Olofsson. Now he is part of the fabric of this series, and I'm delighted to have you back. Lives out in New Zealand, South African. Great to have you back, Johan. Johan very much actually talked me into starting the team competition, so I required him as part of the team here. Really, Tom Moss for Southborough in 29th. Rocket Roy Neild, respectable 30th, and remember this is quite a big field, so 30th might sound a way back, but we started with 85 riders, I think, didn't we? Marion Cavalius at 33rd. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Julian Fussell. There's some great pictures on Facebook this week. I saw Julian from Southborough District Wheelers, just behind Paul Hinson, way up there in the Lake District, I think he lives. Parham from Watford is 35th, just behind Stevie Cooper. Scott. James Dix. Sorry, I kept calling him Jason Dix, didn't I? At 36, I always get his name wrong. Mike Wareham from Moonriders, just pipping Andy Beale from down the road in Ealing, and Andy will know this course backwards as well. He's Martin Wilson, good Facebook friend, coming in ahead of Mike Buckhurst, the Brit living in California, just pipping in Linda's home. So Linda Van Dyke for the ladies, coming in there. Good positioning, well done. And Wendy Wonderwheels at 70th. So you see Jacek Rohrback 43rd, well done, great to see you, Jacek, just behind Ingmar van Berg and Nick Hogard. In Suddersby 44th, just pipping Anna Ronkanen, sorry, I always say I get her name muddled up, don't I? The Finn strong rider. We'd love to see Anna do a few more races in the next series, because I think she'll be quite a talent. Gail Robinson at 50th, not far behind actually. Look at that. Gail was only 31 seconds behind Anna. That was a really good performance. She was just separating them there. Marco Vergoet, Dave Buckley, who helps me out with the results, David Kent, of course, and Marcin Szuderek from Wrocław in Poland. So that's down at 50th. We see PJ 77th, the Frenchman living in West London, just behind Gavin Grant, the Scot living in France, and they're both with their teammate Lisa West, who we shall see when we calculate all this out whether she can hold on to third place in the ladies series. Looking at Street Punk, it's Street Punk, which is a lot easier. That sounds quite good actually. Was just behind my mate Tom Yates Jazz, who works down at Linden Hospital. Rich Blanchard, Bjorn Hetland, Mike Fishpool, Andrew Sutherland, and Harry Schmitz, who is a good Facebook friend too, all just ahead of those. Frederick Mayo Lampe and Claire Miller there, as we've discussed, 59th, and ahead of my cycling buddy Gautam Thakkar, who should have just pipped Rafa Nunes, I think. Indeed, and Jacques Silva, Carl McFarlane, Rob Gilmore, Grant Watson, Martin Wilson, Nicolas Bianacchi, Mike Buckhurst from California, Augustin Krepso 69th. Great performances, everybody. Linda at 79th, about 400 metres to go, I guess. And well done, Linda. She's quite a character. is Linda from Australia, and it's been great to have her in the series. She's just ahead of Jessica Wright. We love Jessica. Fantastic to see you here. And this is the inaugural ladies competition. These are the ladies who make it happen. Absolutely fantastic. We all looking forward to. We're going to sit here and watch Jessica come in, and I think the Ladies League has been an unprecedented success. It's a little bit odd in the way it's constructed, by design and deliberately, it has to be said. And it seems to have worked out quite well, so we'll keep working on that. There she is, Jessica, well done. Absolutely fantastic. Great to see you in the Ukrainian kit. I'll see you just pulling up the sharp little bend. It's easier all the way back. I have to say, if you ever do this in real life, the prevailing wind is usually southwesterly, and the flat bit that she's about to enter usually tends to have the wind against you. So you've got one half of the course where you're sort of going up and down it. There's small hills, admittedly, small man-made hills, and the rest of it you get into the wind. So it's never quite as easy as it looks. Just reading down, I think we read these ones, didn't we? Wendy Gallagher there at 70th position. Jessica just coming home in 80th, and an absolutely splendid performance across the series, if I may say so. And let's have a look at these. Vito, Jens Schmidt, Rick van der Laan, Tracy Corkin, and Lisa West coming in. A little trio of TCCs, Twickenham Cycling Clubs, ahead of Colin Stewart and Linda van Dijk, and of course our favourite Jessica Wright just coming home now, 270 odd metres. Well, what a fantastic series it's been. Really sorry about misreading the timings with the team competition. Commiserations to Pokemotion. You have been fantastic across the series, guys. I hope you put in a team next time, because it's people like you that make it. But the congratulations to Moon Riders, and I think it was Wouter Clays who took that as Jessica comes home to complete Series 4. Series 5 starts in 2 weeks' time on April the 13th. It'll all be on RGT and everywhere else that you already know about, because it's a continuation of what we already do. We're starting from scratch. So if you missed any races this time, make sure you signed up for the whole series next time round and get yourself a good placing. Now, all the placings will be published on www.westlondoncycling.com later tonight, and you can take a look in there. I'll certainly put them out across Facebook in the morning as we get an aerial view of what the Hillingdon circuit would look like if it had tall trees on it. Other than that, it looks pretty much the same. No lines down the middle, actually. So as I say, thank you very much for everybody's help, mateys. Thanks for Damon for putting it on ZMS. We'll be back in a fortnight and the whole thing starts again. Remember, there are loads of classifications. Go on the website and see the one that you fancy your chances in. And even if you don't think you're going to win any of them, go in just for the little personal tussles further back. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.